Welcome to Big Questions, Big Ideas, the series where we explore the timeless questions that have shaped human thought for millennia. In today's lecture, we tackle one of the most fundamental and elusive concepts in philosophy: truth. What is truth? Can we ever fully know it? And how have thinkers from Plato to postmodern philosophers tried to answer this question? The search for truth is as old as philosophy itself. Ancient thinkers believed that discovering truth was the central aim of human life. Plato, the great Greek philosopher, viewed truth as something eternal, unchanging, and absolute. For him, truth was not merely about what we see or experience in the material world, but about the world of forms, the perfect, immutable archetypes that exist beyond our senses. In his famous Allegory of the cave, Plato illustrates this idea vividly. Imagine prisoners chained in a dark cave, only able to see shadows on the wall. To them, the shadows are reality, but in truth they are mere reflections of the forms outside the cave. The philosopher, Plato tells us, is the one who turns toward the light, leaving the shadows behind, and comes to know the true reality. Plato's conception of truth is closely related to what later philosophers would call the correspondence theory of truth. Simply put, this theory suggests that a statement or belief is true if it corresponds to the facts or reality. For example, the statement, "the earth orbits the sun," is true because it accurately reflects the actual state of the world. Correspondence truth seems intuitive. It feels like common sense, yet it raises important questions. How do we know that our perceptions of reality are accurate? Can humans ever fully grasp the truth, or are we always limited by our senses and interpretations? Moving forward in history, philosophers such as Aristotle, Plato's student, refined this idea further. Aristotle argued that truth is a property of propositions. A statement is true if what it asserts actually exists or occurs in reality. This focus on propositions and logical structure laid the foundation for much of Western philosophy and science. The emphasis is on clarity, evidence, and rationality, the core tools for uncovering truth in the world around us. But the quest for truth is not only a matter of objective facts over time. Philosophers realize that coherence also plays a critical role in understanding truth. The coherence theory suggests that a belief is true if it logically fits within a consistent system of beliefs. Here, truth is less about direct correspondence with reality and more about harmony and consistency among ideas. For example, in a legal system, a law might be considered true if it aligns coherently with the principles of justice, precedent, and social norms, even if its real-world application may vary. Coherence emphasizes internal consistency and rational justification, reminding us that truth is not always straightforward or singular. Another important perspective is the pragmatic theory of truth, championed by philosophers like William James and John Dewey. Pragmatists argue that truth is what works in practice, what proves useful, effective, or beneficial in our lives. In this sense, truth is dynamic and evolving, not fixed or eternal. A belief is true if it helps us navigate the world successfully or achieves the outcomes we aim for. This perspective shifts the focus from abstract ideals to lived experience, connecting truth directly to human action and practical consequences. As we approach the 20th century, however, the notion of truth becomes even more complex. Postmodernist thinkers such as Michel Foucault and Jacques Derrida challenge the very idea of universal or objective truth. They argue that what we call truth is often constructed by social, political, and cultural forces. Language, power, and ideologies shape how truths are produced and accepted. In this view, truth is not a fixed reflection of reality, but a product of historical and social context. There is no single, unchanging truth. There are multiple competing truths, each shaped by its perspective and circumstances. Postmodernism pushes us to be cautious about assuming that any one narrative or belief system has ultimate authority. It highlights the subjective and contingent aspects of knowledge and truth. While this can feel unsettling, it also encourages critical thinking, dialogue, and openness to alternative viewpoints. Understanding truth becomes not only an intellectual exercise, but also a moral and social one, requiring humility, reflection, and a willingness to engage with perspectives other than our own. Yet, despite these diverse theories, certain themes recur across philosophical traditions. Truth is often linked to reality, coherence, utility, and perspective. Each theory offers insights and tools to navigate our understanding of the world, even if none provides a definitive answer. The enduring question remains, can we ever know truth completely, or must we navigate a landscape of partial, evolving, and context-dependent truths? In conclusion, the journey from Plato to postmodernism shows us that truth is a complex and multifaceted concept. Whether we approach it as a correspondence to reality, a coherent system of beliefs, a pragmatic guide to action, or a social construct shaped by power and perspective, the quest for truth remains central to philosophy and to human life itself. By engaging with these ideas, we sharpen our reasoning, deepen our understanding, and learn to question not only the world around us, but also the assumptions that shape our beliefs. As we continue this series, we will encounter other big questions about God, the meaning of life, free will, and consciousness, but understanding truth is foundational. It is the lens through which we examine every claim, every idea, and every belief. And so the pursuit of truth remains both a philosophical challenge and a personal journey, a quest that each of us must undertake in our own way.